what got you to where you are right now isn't going to get you to the next level.
Yeah.
Like us, we started something, it exploded. We got these events, blah, blah, but then to get us to the next level, we had to start doing different shit.
Is there not anything you can do? And they said, no, like his kidneys are shut down, his liver's shut down. He's actually unconscious right now. And I was like, but surely you can do like a surgery or something like that. Like, money's not the option. Like,
No,
please
right.
tell me like what I can do. And they said, honestly, you're just prolonging his death. He's going to die.
Welcome back to another episode of Spill the Tea with Bo and Kirsty.
Kirsty and Bo.
We're in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, baby!
Vegas. All right, we're here. We're recording a podcast like this.
Like, what is going on?
This for me only a couple years ago would be like a no.
What?
Like just a straight up no.
Like 6 months ago. Was
6
just
months
like,
ago, this
even,
would have been like,
wasn't
what the
even,
hell?
It wasn't even a plan. Like, wasn't even in the radar. In fact, we actually only made a decision a month ago. Like,
know.
oi, should we go to America? And we're like, okay.
I think Dubai for us, we just finished up the Gladiator Summit there. We recorded a podcast there.
Which we need to talk about the Gladiator Summit because...
Well, we did in the last podcast,
Did
but yeah,
Oh, yeah,
where
of
we
course,
recorded the
of course.
podcast
Oh my
already.
goodness, like, that's
But
so wild,
but
yeah.
for me, there was so many go-getters and so
Yes.
many action takers in, which is what we love, especially in We Breed Success. We kick ass to make sure people are action taking. Like someone will come to us with a business idea and I'm like, all right, we're going to register that tomorrow. And they're like, I need time. I need time.
I was going to do that next year. Like, what do you mean?
The Dubai energy is like, if you have a business idea or someone in Dubai, you go up to someone and be like, hey, I want to do it. They're like, all right, cool. I'll ring you tomorrow. I'll get my team. We're going to get it done. And that's sort of like what we've taken into the States. So we've come over for the James Wedmore BBD Live, which we did. We spoke in front of 2,500 people about social media and how we've grown
The
it
mindset.
to
The mindset
yeah.
around social media and how to get over the Jackie 32s. And the
Comments,
thing is, the
yeah.
no face, the Jackie 32 nasty comments, because we will all get faced with that at some time in life, whether you're wanting to put yourself out there, whether you're wanting to start a business or you're not. The moment you put yourself on social media is the moment that you are
you got to expect that judgment.
open for judgment, and you've got to be okay with that. And most of the time, a lot of people don't start businesses or go into the life they truly want to be going into. Why? Because of fear of judgment from other people. And majority of the time, it's people that they don't even know, they don't even like, they don't care about. But for some reason, when that no-face Jackie 32 comment comes on, you make it mean something about yourself. So
That's exactly what it's
got the beautiful opportunity to speak at James Wedmore.
I know,
on
and we
stage.
connected with so many people, and I know you guys have seen the suits. If you're watching this from video, you've probably seen the suits already on social media, but we're going to go into that. But before we do, I want to touch base on that social media side of things. When we spoke about now that we have videos on TikTok at 440 million views, and then a whole heap of other videos on there at 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 million views as well. And same as an Instagram. Instagram's at 40, 50, multiple millions of views. Like, I refuse to read the comments now. I used to, and then used to be like,
You don't need to.
no, you don't need to. And it's like, also like people are like, the number one thing is like, you guys must be rich because you get so many views. And I'm like, we're only learning now really how to monetize on social media and how to funnel people and create systems and strategies through business, which is a huge thing we're working on at the moment.
Huge learning curve from us as well.
Yeah.
And also,
And I want to teach other people that too.
100%. And I
Everything
want
we
you guys
learn.
to take something from that is that followers don't mean money. And I think that's a really important thing. I really want people to know that you might have 190,000 followers on Instagram like ourselves or TikTok.
If you're not monetizing correctly.
Exactly right. But also it doesn't, the numbers, I want to really make it super clear for people that stop getting caught up on the followers you have, because I know people that have 1,000 followers who are multi-millionaires.
That's exactly right.
Multi-millionaires.
Well, both of us. I know people that don't even have social media that are multi-millionaires.
100%.
But for me, I think after going to James Wedmore and being at BBD Live, Business by Design, the live event, and being like around those people, was that, that the systems can be outlaid. So after leaving that event, even though we spoke about social media, being around other people doing huge things, I believe we've left so much money on the table by having these videos. Like, we've got that one video of Leah, our good friend Leah, who just got married. We went to her wedding back in Australia.
Which was so beautiful. Shout out to Leah.
Yeah, shout out to Leah. We love you.
Beautiful.
But for me, I feel like, you know, we were having like our videos were getting 2 or 3 million views a day, I believe, for months. And then on top of that, like 2,000, 3,000 followers a day, maybe more, maybe even 10 some days. And you know, now we've created a free community, and the free community is just because like people are swamping us in our messages. We can't keep up with it. People are swamping us in comments. We can't keep up with it. One video has like 30,000 comments.
Yeah.
So we've created a free community. That's in the link in bio. That's in that's everything. Go into our link
and we
tree.
just wanted to give so much value. So
Yeah,
my thing
we
is
wanna-
always consistently going through like, you know, how can we add more value to people's lives? How can we help more people? Not everybody can afford to either come to an event or come to our program, things like that. But I always want to be accessible for everyone. I always want to be able to give people the tools and the skills that they need. And so that was super important for me. So when I built out the Success Lounge, which is our free community Success
Lounge. You're hearing it first here on this podcast.
You are hearing it first.
We just did this like a couple of days ago. We were one of the many of our ideas that just come to life, and then we made it happen. Action takers.
And and I just really wanted to have that point of contact. I wanted to really bridge the gap between human beings and connection, because it's another thing, and also human beings being able to have the access to the tools and the skills that they need, and the modalities to actually help people like self-regulate, have these access to tools that actually help people break through their own limitations and things like that. Because, you know, we're seeing more and more, obviously, mental health. I'm so proud that there's such a spotlight on it now, and it's, you know, it's talked about, but there's still a lot of people there that aren't talking about it. And I can tell you, my darkest days and my darkest months and years, I wasn't talking, you know. And so if people could come to our community and just watch from afar and then be like, hey, I might just try this breathing technique and see how that helps me, and if I can help one person, then my job here is done.
Well, it's a trust thing. So I truly believe businesses or social media, if you're on social media, you're creating trust and rapport with your audience, right? And for us, like a lot of people who join We Breathe Success or even come to an event, they'll come to an event and be like, I've watched you guys for a year. I finally, and I feel like the space that we're in is like people need to be ready for the evolvement, and they need to be ready for the movement. And a lot of people would be like, I kind of want to, blind, I want to, maybe, I don't know. And then they have something really tragic happen, or they have some sort of like breakup or something in their business.
Unfortunately,
and then
most people have to wait
for rock bottom and then be like, all right, I'll try the breath work. All right, I'll try the fucking.
Holy shit, what did I try this a year ago?
I need this. I'm gonna, it's either this or suicide, which was your story too, right? You were like, all right.
So I get it. I get it.
And I get it too, because I was absolutely at a point in my life where I wanted more, but I also didn't want any fucking less. And I was like, all right, what do I need to do?
And you didn't know what more was.
I didn't know what more was at the time.
Majority of people...
And we don't know the how sometimes. Sometimes we just got to say yes.
We don't know the how ever anymore.
We literally signed up someone today who was like, humming and hawing about joining We Breathe Success, and knowing that it was good for them, and then knowing that they have those blocks of, do you know what? Everything I start, I never finish.
Yeah.
I always go all in and then I fucking stop. And then I have these barriers, and I'm like...
Which is just a pattern.
It's a pattern, it's a cycle.
It's a habit.
And we
cut those.
I always say that people are going to hit these ceilings, they're going to hit these blocks, and they're going to... The thing is that I always say to people is we yo-yo. Okay, so we have these little highs, and then we get back to the lows. Then we have these little highs, and we get back to the lows. And it's like... That if you look back at your life, like how many, it's like a pattern every 6 months, or in your relationship, or in your business, or in your thing. You hit a high and then you hit that low again. And we want to break through those. And to break through those is a massive thing, which you guys are going to take away from this right now, what I'm about to say. What got to you to where you are right now isn't going to get you to the next level.
Yeah.
Like us, we started something, it exploded. We got these events, blah, blah, but then to get us to the next level, we had to start doing different shit.
Yeah.
Because what got us to that success, that same energy and that same routine and that same people and the same education and knowledge wasn't going to get us to the thing. And this is what I say to people, like, all right, making your first $1,000, that's easy, right? You start a business, you reach out to every single person on your phone list, every single person on your Facebook list and Instagram list. Say, hey, I know we haven't spoken in a while. Or, hey, Auntie June, or hey, fucking Uncle Bob, or hey, cousin, fucking, I haven't spoken to you in ages, or hey, person from high school, I've started a business. Do you want to do you want to support me? I've got a cleaning business. All right. And which is literally the conversation we had with one of our We Breathe Success members the other day. She's like, I don't know how to start a business. I'm like, all right, what do you want to do? Oh, I'm good at cleaning. All right, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, literally made her register the business the next day. And then then that night, I was like, you contact everyone in your phone list. We've all, well, man, I've got my SIM card from when same number since I was bloody 7 years old. Go through that entire list.
He's good with the commitment.
I've got like 500 phone numbers, right? You go through to every single phone number and
mainly chicks.
They're girls and guys. But go in there, right, and just say to every single person, like, I'm cleaning. Like, what's the chances that you need a cleaner, or I'll give you discounts since you know each other, whatever. Like, that's potentially like that's leads. There's leads right there on the table.
That's exactly right.
But going off course a little bit, but back to where we are. We're in Vegas. We are here with our family. Our kids are back in the hotel room. We're about to hit some numbers. We got to gamble while we're here, right?
We are, yeah.
Well, Kirsty's a gambler. I don't gamble. I watch her have a beer. I love it. We high five and the energy, right?
I'm a bit of a roulette person.
You're a numbers person.
I'm a numbers person.
You're big on numbers, angel numbers.
If you're all about the universe, I'm hearing you. It was fun because
we got off the plane in Vegas and she's like, look, there's a 6. We got to go to the casino right now. There's a 6. That's Harvey's birthday. Let's go. We're leaving money on the table right now. And that was funny. But
before we get into this next thing, let's so I want to start off, with a couple questions.
Let's do it.
A couple questions just to sort of like
this is throwing me off too because I don't know this.
Yeah, this is exactly right. So
you said you were going to ask me some questions.
Yeah, I am going to ask you some questions. All right. I want to know, what's one challenge that you have faced this week?
This week alone?
Yes.
Is learning that I need to make decisions quicker. I hum and ha, I ask you, I go back to, and not trusting my intuition because I know my intuition is good.
Yeah.
But, and I think a lot of people listening right now feel this. But after it's too late, you look back and go, fucking, I should have just done the thing, you know? And even if you just done the thing, even if it was the wrong thing, the lessons there or the learnings are there, but just sometimes it's just about just doing. Just put the step. I kind of hesitate a little bit with stuff, and I feel like it's at the end of the day, like if you just make the decision, there's going to be good that comes out of that regardless.
100%.
So that's my challenge. Yeah, just learn. Yeah.
All right, cool, love it. All right, and what's one success that you've had this week?
One success I've had this week is I've been hitting the gym a bit while we've been on holiday and jet lagged, and it doesn't matter that it's just getting in, just doing it, just saying hey to the family, even though I want to sit in there with you, and you've been pushing me too. You're like, just go to the gym, I'm like, do you need milk? Do you need a coffee? I go down and I got fucking wrong coffee. Went back then. You're like, look, babe, just go to the fucking gym. I know this is pissing you off now. Like, then Harvey needs a nappy change. Then this happens and that happens. And like, you need to do this. Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, it's like just keeping up with the self-care routine. I'm doing that well, doing my breath work, getting into the gym, even though we're traveling.
Fantastic. Love that. And what is one thing you're going to work on this week?
What I'm going to work on is
Could be business, personal, professional.
Well, I'm going to work on our Bali retreats for the We Breathe Success members. So we're running 2 a year. I've been getting up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and just completely planning that out to give everyone the itinerary.
Exciting.
Yeah,
so we've got one in May, one in November.
And I think I can talk about this now because by the time this comes out, it won't matter. But we're going to run some events. I'm not going to say what they're called, or should we? Let's embody it. We're going to run Legends and Leaders events. So that's something I'm definitely working on.
Yeah, so we're working on events. So by the time you guys hear this, we'll probably maybe already be out. But
yeah, probably.
Legends and Leaders is our next events that will be coming out, and they are jam-packed with transformation, breakthroughs,
networking mindset, business, connection.
Breaking those habits, learning the tools on the day, being able to take home the skills to be able to do that. Right. So it's
and we're going to have
we're going to have panelists. And
we're going to have a lot more sponsors and businesses coming in, with booths and promotion. Because I feel like we've already done this over the last 6 tours of Australia. We've done, we've had people and experts step on stage and talk. We've had other businesses come in and promote their businesses.
And
we
want to be able to this time really present a stage for many businesses and many experts and entrepreneurs to be able to get out there and have the exposure, to be able to actually, get on stage and talk about their business, to have a place where they have a lot of eyes on them. So that's the main reason why we're going to bring in a lot more sponsors this time. We're going to bring in a lot more business people. We're going to have panelists. We're going to have conversations on stage and have a variety of people. So it's super, super exciting for that.
And I think moving away from the yoga mats on the floor and being more theatre style in more of a ballroom and stuff like that. It's definitely literally the last 2 tours I already knew we were going to move into that.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of bittersweet because our last event, and which was in Gold Coast, it was quite emotional because we're walking away from Breakthrough Breathwork. If you want to do Breakthrough Breathwork, you can only do it online with us now in our program. And
Wednesdays.
Yeah, on Wednesdays. And so it's exclusive now. And so it's a little bit sad because that's what got us to this point.
I do love it. Every time, I know we've been on a different path for a while, but every time we sort of finish a big breakthrough breathwork session.
Oh, we're so inspired every time. And
it is the magic, and we go
so life-changing,
and that's why we kept doing it.
Yeah,
because we were like, this is what people need.
And then we knew that people needed it, but as we grew,
we wanted to do more. And as we've done our inner work, I always say, you can only lead a light of the dark you've already walked through.
Yes.
And for us, we've gone through so much dark now that the light for us,
it's on a different path.
It's on a different path. It's more business. It's more entrepreneurs. It's more motivation. It's more inspiration. It's more, and that's why networking, connection, which is what we've always been about. I think we need to, at our next events, we're going to do big breaks and longer events.
All right. Well, we don't need to tell them all the things, but we're going to do some cool things.
Okay.
Mr. wants to have a chat and tell all the secrets.
I'm going to get in trouble here. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, are you going to ask me my questions?
All right. So.
The same.
What has been the biggest challenge this week, Kirsty?
All right. So the biggest challenge for me this week has actually been me sitting on the bed. Noah was first sick. Then Harvey was sick. And Harvey woke up. It was 2:00 in the afternoon. He woke up. He was kind of coughing. And I was like, yep, he's going to be sick. I pick him up. He vomits all over me in the hotel room. I go to run to the bathroom and jump in the shower. And there's no water. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm covered in vomit, head to toe, delicious. I know for anyone that doesn't like vomit, I'm sorry. I apologize. I hope you're not eating food right now. But I was covered in vomit. I was said to Noah, I said, go out there and tell them the water's off. And so we went out there and he said, and they said, look,
I was out. You were
out. You were out as well. And they said, look, but 2 floors in this hotel, the water just went off. There's been a burst pipe. And I'm like, I went out there in my underwear and my top. And I'm like, I'm covered in vomit. My son's covered in vomit. Please, I need to be out of this room now. So then I ring Bo and I said, ring reception right now. I need another room. I'm covered in vomit. So anyway, I had to go down there. I've got Harvey and a towel. I've tried to clean myself the best I can with wet wipes. I didn't want to put on any other clothes because I didn't want to get vomit on our stuff. And so I'm in the elevator. And
because we're traveling too, it's not like we can just wash our clothes.
That's exactly right. And we don't have endless supply of
And now
clothes.
I have a 2 plastic bag, Target bag with vomit clothes in it because I need to
to go and take them to the washer, which I can guarantee you, knowing us, they'll just end up going in the bin. But anyway,
yes, probably.
But that's both for you trying to save money in the moment. But then he'll just be like,
that's my favourite blue shirt that you were wearing. And I told you not to wear multiple times. Let's not get into that. Fuck, I don't care who. All right. Women out there, stop wearing the man's tops.
That's a one.
They're our shirts.
That's like a
they're
given.
Our hoodies. You know how many hoodies I didn't get back from girls that stayed at my house?
Oh, calm down, pussy.
Fuck, man, I'd chase that hoodie down. That's $100 hoodie.
Yeah, you would
don't
definitely.
Take my
you would
shit.
Be knocking on that person's
Why don't girls
door.
have their own clothes? They dress up all nice and fancy.
But then we're cold.
And I don't care.
We need the business.
Get your jackets. Buy your jackets.
That's why you have men. There's got to be some purpose. That's one of the purposes for having a male in your life.
I love it.
Girls understand this. They get this.
All right, so that was the challenge.
That was my challenge. Yes. Oh, and so just finished it off. I'm in the elevator. Poor people. I said, hey, I'm super sorry. I know I smell like vomit. You're not.
I haven't had a big night.
You're not thinking about it like it truly is. We do smell like vomit. My son just vomited on me and there's no water. So I'm going to a new hotel room. So I've gone from the 26th floor to the 24th floor in vomit and people in the thing. But anyway, so that was my challenge for this week. But we got through it. It's all good.
Yeah, we got through it. And what is one thing that the third one's what you're going to work on. What's the second question?
Success. What's my one success this week?
Oh, yeah. What's one thing you've completed?
Okay, so my success this week would be studying the Success Lounge. Yeah, so
Beautiful, yeah, good one.
I worked really hard on there.
We've already got 80 people in it.
Yes, we've already got 80 people
Probably
in
more.
it. Yeah.
I don't know why I looked at my watch then, but
I know, hilarious.
I was just looking at the date, but we only started it 2 days ago and we already have like 80, 90 people in there.
So, which is super cool, and like the community is really awesome. We've got heaps of free resources. There's courses in there as well.
There's courses, there's breathwork techniques
that people can download. So we have like lots of different offerings.
You can post on there, like it's a network. Like you can go in there and be like, hey, does anyone know a broker? Hey, this is my challenge this week, or hey, I had a win this week. Like inspire people.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is like when you're in a community like the Success Lounge or We Be Success, or just in Believe in Your Breath in general, is that like this is like the main thing I always say is like whatever you are going through right now, someone else has been through that.
100%.
And whatever
or they're going through it.
And whatever you have been through and you've overcome, someone else is going through that right now and you're their light. And in a community, that's why community is so powerful, because you come on and share and be like, hey, this is my win. I've just got through DV, or I overcome a conversation with my mum or my ex or baby daddy, whatever the fucking big dealio is. You share that and someone goes, fuck, I'm going through that. Yep. That's exactly what I need to hear today. You can do that, sister. I can do that too.
Exactly.
And then it's like you sort of amp each other up. But people don't realize how much of a light they are.
100%.
When I hear people's stories and they talk about their deepest, darkest shit, trauma, right? A lot of these trauma coaches and trauma workers are like, I'm so sorry. And then they touch them or hug them, which is an insecurity because they feel sorry for them.
It also anchors the pain.
It anchors the pain. And it also shows them that, hey, I feel sorry for you, so you should feel sorry for yourself too.
Yeah.
When I have someone sitting in front of me, man, I've heard everything over the last few years being in this work. Rape, torture, violence, all the worst. No, seriously though, the worst things possible. And I look across and smile and say, like almost like a congratulations. And I say, do you know what? You're still here. Through everything you've been through, you're still here. And I'm like, you're an inspiration. I said, your story will help people that are going through right now. And then they go, do you know what? You're fucking right. I am proud. Yeah. Do you know what? I am happy. I am so like, what the hell am I sitting? And then we go through like the next stage of like realizing, because every time they've ever told that story, someone's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry you've been through that. Oh, it must be horrible. Exactly, it must be so bad. But anyway, let's go back. I just wanted to touch on that because it inspires me to hear people that what they've overcome. So your success this week is the Success Lounge, which is thriving and people are in there getting it done. What is the one thing this week you're going to work on, Kirst?
For me this week is actually tuning out of work.
I love this.
Work with my family, to be with my family, to spend a lot more quality time with Noah and Harvey. Just really want to have that, really tune off for Christmas. I am a person who finds it very hard to disconnect from work.
Yeah.
Again, it is still I love work. It excites me. I love impact. But it also is, I would still probably say it is a trauma response, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment about something that's really happened to me this week, which has been very, very hard. However, in those moments, I really leaned in to see how I was feeling and what my response was. And
being aware and just curious, right?
This is why it's super important to know that you're never fully healed. And you don't know until you're back in that situation. And so being back in a situation recently, I see myself, the natural default settings come up, the natural way of how I'd respond to something. And I'm going to go into what that situation was soon, but that is a very, very interesting part, because this is why I always say, like, you're always growing, you're always evolving, you're always 100%. Changing, and you always got to be doing the work.
And we always have things in
everything
the back
that we have achieved, every single thing that we have achieved in our life has all come from doing the inner work.
Before we go into what very sad news we have for this week, I want to talk on what you're saying right now about what Tim said. So Tim Frey from Success School, who is one of our coaches. Shout out to Tim. We love you.
Tim and
Steph from Success School. What did he say today? And what, like, that hit me, right? The mind.
So
what was
talking
it?
About that, he felt like he was plateauing in his business. He was
That's
feeling a
right.
little bit deflated, things like that. And he went away to one of his coaches, like a health coach. I think he's a bodybuilder, I think, in another country, and went just in training. So it was all just eating clean, like egg whites and like stuff like that. And
Just
it's
the
training,
full,
and then audiobooks. And so it gives you a lot of time to, you're not in distraction, you're in like, evolution again, you're growing and you're expanding, and then the ideas start creating. And so the coach said to him something along the lines of that, it's not the business that's, sometimes when you have all the success in the business, that's not what you're looking for. That was just the byproduct of the skills and the knowledge that you've put into that. But actually it comes from working on yourself.
But your business byproduct of you.
1000%.
And this is what I say to people. People are like, oh, this and that. I want to do this. I'm like, okay, work on yourself.
That's it. And so what he did was, instead of working on the business, and so we always talk about between working in the business and on the business, he actually removed both of them, and he actually went, no, I actually need to work on me.
Yes.
And then so he started
yes.
And so he started doing more training, watching his diet, sharpening that up. He was doing more mindful stuff,
which I think was hitting you, right?
Yeah. So I was listening to it because I've been saying for the last 2 months, like, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to really start putting my health first. I feel my body. I feel
then the rest will come.
I feel unhealthy, and I feel toxic. Like I'm finding it hard to breathe. I'm going upstairs and
inflammation in the body, tension, energy.
I get a lot of migraines and tension and stuff like that, which is just the body. I've been getting a lot of urine infections lately, and I truly believe that with the urine infections, and also I've been getting acne on my jawline stuff, which is all hormones. I'm 40 now, and I truly feel like, damn it, shit, damn.
I said, damn it. That's so funny.
I think that it has made me take a look, because at the end of the day, we're all sitting there going we're living to 80, 90, 100 years old, but it's not the truth. Actually, the average life expectancy in Australia is actually 76 years old. And so, which means I only have 36 years left if I'm lucky, type thing, which is wild. Can you imagine, I've only got maybe 36 years left to my life. And I think that really put things into perspective for me. I'm like, what are you working so hard for? I feel blessed because this year we really have put measures in place to create memories. That has been a big thing for us. Instead of anyone who knows me, I have always been a big shout of birthday presents, Christmas presents, and I'm talking about thousands of dollars, guys. On my kids' birthdays and Christmases got spent thousands of dollars, and that came from the guilt and shame of working away.
100%.
And so this year, living in Bali, it was very different because you're in a different environment, which is another thing we'll talk about soon, about the environments you are in matter. And I never realized just how important that was until we've been traveling, where we've really seen how your environment really does shape the wealth in countries.
Fucking Dubai is
and we'll go into that because I think that's super important. It's one thing to have a business or even the best product or service, but let's be real, when no-face Jackie32 jumps on Instagram throwing those nasty comments and you make it mean something about you, it doesn't matter how good your business is, you will crumble. That's why you need us.
Welcome to We Breathe Success, the ultimate experience for aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, and coaches who are ready to break through to the next level.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Waddingham.
And I'm Bo Drury.
We're not just any mindset business mentorship. We are the world's best when it comes to mindset, breakthrough, and transformation.
Our approach combines breakthrough breathwork, powerful mindset techniques, manifestation, and strategic business coaching, setting you up for each week for success and action.
If you're truly serious about hitting those 30K months and unlocking explosive growth, you're in the right place.
Success starts with one essential foundation, your mindset. Without it, even the best business strategies will fall apart.
That's why we go deeper than traditional coaching. We offer advanced biohacking and mindset reprogramming with 3 weekly group sessions focused on manifestation, weekly planning, and breakthrough breathwork. We're here to help you break through your old limits, step into extraordinary success, and create unstoppable momentum for growth. We cover it all: mindset, somatic strategy, community, and connection.
So are you ready to be the leader, visionary, and powerhouse that you were meant to be? Click the link below. Let's book a call.
on that, like this year, we've really wanted to create more memories. Like for Harvey's birthday, he actually only got like 2 or 3 presents, but we spent the
He got
entire
some
day.
toys in Bali,
And then
like
it just got
little
rid of it.
plastic
But
things.
then we spent the entire day.
I don't think he has any of them now.
Phones off,
Yeah.
and just was
Went
present.
to- yeah, that was
And
amazing.
that was the moment for me breaking lifelong patterns of guilt and shame cycles of feeling that I had to give to my kids because I worked away for 10 years. And I can guarantee you, I promise you that if I worked on a Christmas or a birthday of one of my kids, they got double the amount of presents, and they knew it, especially Carson, you know? So it was a really big thing to change me. But back on the environment side of things, so we've been traveling a lot. So you've seen us, we're in Dubai, we're in America, we're going to Canada. So when this comes out, we've already been to Canada. Now, the conversations in each place has been seriously different. Dubai, no, I'm no word of a lie, incredible. Action takers, everything is no problem. No problem.
We literally make a joke of it.
Because we've met someone who are like, yo, you want to do that? No
you
problem.
Want to start a $10 million business?
No problem.
No problem.
Nothing is a problem. Everything is like absolutely achievable. The world is your oyster over there, and
literally.
no one
No
says,
excuses.
No one says, oh, I don't think you could do that. Not one person.
In Australia, you talk to people about business and they just start shying away, turning down. You watch their body language, Dave.
Well, we had
lower their head.
I give so many people, especially my friends, like, you know, like,
business
hey,
advice.
business advice, like, hey, I think you should do this.
Well, they have a little idea, and then you come. This is what we do in We Breed Success as well. They're like, oh, you know, I thought about starting a salon, and you're like, jack it off. All right, cool. Like, what areas are we going to be in? All right, and then how many staff do you want to have? And they're like, staff, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, we start this up by Tuesday, you know, like, and they start shying away, like, Kirsty, calm down. It's like, do you want to fucking do the business or what? Hey, look, I'll actually put the money in for it. So you don't have any money? All right, cool. We'll do the money. And the thing is, in Dubai, like, you know, people just, it's all about give, right? The universe is, give. And everything we learn in Dubai is the more you give to the universe, the more you receive. And people are like, give. They're fighting over paying the bill. Like, people punching on about paying the bill. Yeah. Like, and in Australia, people are like, fucking, I lost my wallet, blah, blah. But yeah, it is true. The energy.
And just back on that, like, I had a person just recently who said to me, like, she's an amazing chef. I watch all of her food, everything she does on Instagram. Incredible food. An incredible human being. Anyway, I said, why don't you open a restaurant? She goes, it was always my dream to open a restaurant. And I said, okay, cool. Why don't you do it? And then her response was, oh, you know, because it's really hard. You know, 1 in 4 restaurants fail in Australia. Like, mate, she gave me every single reason. I want to make money work for me. I don't want to exchange my time. I said, so you don't actually want it. It's actually not a dream.
That's exactly
And she goes, well, yeah, it is, blah, blah. And I said, well, what if the story was, I brought that out. It was so successful. I actually worked, you know, Wednesday to Sunday. I only have it open then on those certain hours. And you were a multi-million-dollar business
100%.
and you franchised that. What if that was the thing? She said to me, yeah, I'd love that, but then I'd need finance. I'd need this. And I said, so again, you don't really want to, if you want to say that that's your dream, which it's not your dream, because if it was your dream, you'd be like, okay, cool. How can I do this?
And when you say that we can do something, it makes people feel uncomfortable because they don't believe it. You watch them, you watch the shoulders.
I'm just like,
you watch the chin go down. You watch their body language when you say in front of you, like, hey,
we are living proof that you can do whatever you want.
I'll say to someone like right now, like, in 1 year, could you imagine your restaurant turning over $1 million, blah, 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 with this many patrons and this many customers, and you watch their body language? It's like, you don't believe it, but you want it. But sometimes you don't need it. Sometimes you don't need to know the how. Well,
no, every
you
time
need to know the what.
Every time you don't need to know the how. The thing is, we didn't get to where we were now
knowing the how.
We had no idea.
Believe the label, we never knew the fucking how.
No, any of these businesses, we never knew the how.
It's learning.
When we did events, everything, our thing was always fail fast and move on, learn lessons.
This is what I say to We Breed Success members all the time when they come to me with a can't. I say, I couldn't walk once upon a time. But I did. I couldn't want to push bike once upon a time, but I did. Mm-hmm. You know, everything is reputations and experience, right? You got to get the reps in. And I'm like, all right, well, do you know what? Like, this is, let me explain it to you. All right, I'll go to the gym when I'm fit. And they're like, okay, that won't work. And I'll go, all right, I'll drive a car when I can drive a car. Yeah. Okay, I'll start a business when I'm rich. Do you see what I'm doing here now? And then they go, yes. Then I go, all right, now give me your problem and do the same thing. And they're like, all right, well, I'll do this when I'm that. And I'm like, that's not going to work, is it? You need to swap it. You need to do the shit Nike, I always say Nike. Just fucking do it and then work it out later. Do the reps and repetitions. Change and growth happens from reps and intensity.
Yeah.
All right. We don't get muscly from overthinking about the lifting the weights and overthinking the dieting. We do it by doing the action first, then we get the result later. People think it's the opposite. I need to know everything before I start. No, you start and then you know everything later. Right.
That's exactly right. And the other thing is on environment. So Dubai, go-getters. Australia, we're finding now after being in America.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about this.
It's wild that we coming to America, you always have your expectations or your view of what something is before you even know. You've already created a story. Doesn't matter what anyone says, you already created a story. Now, I was truly feeling that Americans were a certain way, more abrupt and strong. And don't get me wrong, they are.
Opinionated.
But what I love now about hanging out with Americans is that they're so self-assured of their opinion that it's so fucking refreshing. And I'm like, I'm not scared about that anymore because I'm like, these people in America, they know what they like. They know what they don't like. You're either for Trump or you're against Trump. There's no in between.
It does divide people here, though, because people are like, I'm this way and I'm that way.
We divide people everywhere. But my thing is, human beings in America has very strong opinions. They know what they want. They're very self-assured and they're big, bold, and loud. Like how many times they're like, "Oi, hey, Bo, is that you?" And they're like, "I got you,
bro. I got." And I find when every time I have a conversation with an American, I laugh and smile.
Oh, I can't stop
because the energy. And I felt like the most mind-blowing thing for me was working out that Australians are actually quite judgmental and reserved. Like I'm like someone comes up to me in America and I'm like, am I getting mugged right now? But I'm not. Like they're trying to sell me something or they're trying to talk to me or they're just trying to have a like my shirt.
But because I've realized now.
You cannot be in an elevator here without a whole group. Like it doesn't matter who's in the elevator. Everyone's talking.
That's so
and I find the American voice, it's so loud. It's so shot out. It's so
direct. It's so strong.
And when we first come here, we felt a little bit scared.
I felt scared. I felt intimidated. I also felt like,
first few days
are we going to get killed? Like I created such a story.
There are some dangerous areas here, though, and there's always there in Australia.
But my thing is,
and everywhere.
I came here feeling uneasy. We were in Arizona, all right? I felt uneasy from the person who picked you up.
But the Arizona people were so amazing after we stayed for a few days.
We got picked up in the car from the airport to a hotel, and the first conversation, this girl was a little bit crazy.
She was a little bit crazy.
It did scare me. I was like, are we going to get murdered in here? And it was talking about because Bo had was going to go in one of the vehicles. We'd just seen the vehicles that had no people inside. And then,
so they're self-driving Jaguars. So if you haven't seen on my, I've put a post up of me in a car with no driver. So it's a normal car. It's got sensors all around it, and there's a steering wheel, and it's a normal car. You sit in it, and it drives you from A to B. Freeways. I'm talking parking. I'm talking side streets. I'm talking
scary.
and even the locals hated them, right?
Yeah, so locals didn't like it. Anyway, the lady in the car was like, you know what? Those things are like killing people, and it's not okay for a robot to kill people. Only humans can kill people. I'm like, I'm dying. I'm definitely going to die. And then she was just saying some crazy things, and I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. So I went in already feeling a little bit on edge. I was already on edge anyway. We had just flown 15 hours. We were very on edge anyway. Our nervous system, was a long flight. All the things. But the more that we hung out in Arizona, the more I started to have more conversation with people, the more I started to love these people. Now, one thing I would say that Arizona, from my short experience with people in the Uber drivers, which I'll go back to then because we had a lot of Uber drivers, I would say that Arizona was the land of lost dreams. Now, every single person that picked me up had a dream. And I asked them what that dream was.
And they also had an excuse.
They had an excuse. And the major excuses were that they had either got married, they were divorced, they had kids, all these things. All
not enough money.
Normal life excuses. Yeah. Now, these people that were picking us up were talented. They had huge musicians,
artists. And I'm like, what? And then, literally, we would do coaching in the Uber. And when we're getting out the Uber, we're like, we're going to see that shit next week. You're going to do add us on Instagram.
And they'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much. I felt
I needed to meet you today. I needed to meet you today.
This is the most amazing thing. saying like they would leave pumped. And for me,
5-minute
for
coaching.
me, it's just like, it's wild because these people had incredible dreams, and it broke my heart to know there's so many people out there
giving
that
up,
are truly not living a life they
just
want,
laying down,
and just going, okay, this is my life. It is what it is. That's my hate.
I hate that. That's just life.
I cannot stand those two sayings. That's just life. It is what it is. I cannot stand it.
Can I tell you?
It doesn't have to be what it is.
That's right. Can I tell you my favorite saying at the moment?
Yeah.
Life's full of lessons and blessings, my friend.
Yeah.
So I met this African American guy, a security guard in the elevator, and we're talking, and they're so loud. He's like, "Yo, what's up, my man?" And I'm like, yeah. Hey, Ace, what's up, Ace? Like, they're so loud, they're so like, and it's so confident and
confident.
And
I think that's what I
love it. And
yeah.
I love it. Like for me, it's like a little bit like you know, when we first got here, when you see like people interact in America, you're like, is that a fight? These guys are about to throw down, you know, because it's hostile. Because they're like, they say what they want. They're like, hey, I want this at this time. Like, where's this?
Passionate.
And the other person's like, yeah, I can get it for you. Like, I'll do this. This is it. But anyway, like, we're in this thing, and this guy's like, what's your name, man? Bo, nice to meet you, man. What? Where you from, bro? And it's like, yeah, this is so much energy. And then it's like,
you can't stop laughing.
And it's like, see you later, man. Hey. And then I'm like, what? And he's like, life's full of lessons and blessings, my friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, walks off. And I'm just like, so it's like fucking funny. And then we're like walking down the street because like weed's legal everywhere here. And all you can smoke is weed. Every Uber thinks of weed. Every hotel we go to thinks of weed. Like, I don't care. It's funny. But like we met that African-American lady. She was sitting on the side street in Arizona, outside of her apartment because she can't smoke inside the complex because they had some rules there.
I loved her.
And she was like, we're walking past and she looked at you and she goes, okay, Madonna.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you're born in that Rick James era, weren't you? And like, we're just piecing ourselves laughing.
And she was like saying all the things she wanted to do. And I said, oh, we don't do what we do for money. She's like, oh, yeah, you got money.
Yeah. Because we were like, because we said that we were like what we did was for people, because she's like, oh, you guys must make a lot of money what you do after we spoke to them.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yeah, everyone who's got money says they don't do it for the money, you know. Like, it was like,
that's exactly
but she was so cool.
She was so cool. And again, another person who had a dream, and I said, oh, okay, just start. And she's like, oh, you know, but I need this. And I said, no, you don't. All you need to do is you need to get on your phone and you need to go and start posting to create a personal brand. I said, do you know how cool you are? Like, do you know how much, like, I've known you for 10 minutes. I'm hooked into you. The way you talk, the way you are, like, I just love it. And so that's probably been my biggest thing that I've realized, that Australians are actually reserved. We're very skeptical. We feel like there's like
judgment.
We're very judgy. And this is just
we're worried.
Short. We worry about everything. This is just my short.
I thought Australians were outgoing and loud and like not give a fuck. And then when I've come to America, I'm like, nah, these people are like, you know, this is my thoughts and this is my belief. And yo, what's up, man? And how are you, brother? And like,
so I've really just loved. I've loved being in America, and I love Americans. I love how the energy, it just, and you're just already laughing. Like, I can't wait to know what they're going to say next, because it's just funny and they're just talking. Yeah. And then what about that one girl? I was like, oh, your accent is cool. And she's like, I don't have an accent. You do. I'm like, no, you do.
And then another guy was like,
what kind of accent?
You have an accent to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I, let's jot off before we go into like the sad news we got this week. All right. We're going to go into that, but let's talk about the suits. Oh, yeah. So this is the first time we've worn the suits on the podcast. So we got these made in Bali, your idea. So I just want to say how much these suits have impacted our fucking lives and our business.
It's been a very good. So we are. This is the thing for you guys. You guys are a personal brand. No matter what you're doing in your life, whatever business you're doing or whatever, or even if you're just not even in a business yet, you are the brand. You are the personal brand. And so this is
I push personal brand these days.
This has been an amazing talking piece.
People want to buy from the people behind the brand these days. It's not like you're just buying Adidas. It's not like you're just buying Puma, Nike, whatever. You're buying from Bo and Kirsty. You're buying from the story. You're buying from the connection to who owns the brand, the emotion connection. And like, so we got these made in Bali, and let me tell you about these suits. So we got these made. Where's the first time we wore them? Gladiator Summit?
No, Weber Success, the Bali retreat. That's when we did it.
Ah, yes.
The dinner.
Yeah, so we wore these at the dinner at the We Breathe Success Bali retreat. The next Bali retreat has just been released in May. I'm super excited.
Very exciting.
so we wore that there, and it was hot. It was very uncomfortable. It's much more comfortable wearing it here in the United States.
Yeah.
And then and so we wore it there, and we did some content, which, like, for a start, because it's different, it blows the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But the main thing I want to talk about these suits is we got these made in Bali, and in Dubai, when we went to the Gladiator Summit, I could be in the toilet, and someone could come go be like, "Hey, bro, awesome suit, man. What is it?" Now that's broken the ice, and that's also a lead. That lead's come to me, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, I do breath work, I do self-development, I do mindset, blah, 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 elevator pitch, toilet pitch, whatever you want to call it."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "That's awesome, man. Can I get your Instagram?" So I reckon we got
so many leads from that. Yeah.
Bro, I reckon
Hundreds.
one day at Gladiator Summit, we had about 200 followers because people just walking up to us and goes, "You guys look awesome, high five." And then my thing is like, "Give us a follow. Like, what do you do?" And you would always say, "What do you do?" And then they're so interested in what we do because of the suit. And then it's a talking point. It's a talking point, and it's an icebreaker. And so many people love it, especially because you got a couple walking through with gold and sting suits. And then in James Wedmore, the same thing happened. So we went to the BBD live event with like over 2,000 people, 2,500 people, and we spoke on stage, and everyone remembered us.
Yeah,
everyone came up to us and said, "Loved you on stage."
Loved
blah,
your
blah, blah.
stories, loved your
and
energy.
we're up there on a panel with a lot of other people, and they were all amazing as well.
Yeah.
And I just want to touch base on there. We spoke on the social media panel, and because we didn't touch base on it before, when we did, we spoke on the mindset behind social media, which is like a lot of people have strategy, right? And strategy is amazing, but if you don't have the mindset, you don't put yourself out there, or there's a bad comment and you just delete the video, which is we've had that in our We Be Success.
Yeah. And strategy and systems ain't gonna save you.
And this shit here, these suits, look at the gold, look at it. Yeah, guys. If you're not on video, get on video, get on YouTube, get on Spotify. But like this for us, like walking around to come to this podcast today, I said, I want to wear this to the podcast. And you're like, "Oh, whatever." And I was like, "Nah."
I didn't say anything. I was like,
Okay, but you're like, you didn't want to go out after in it or whatever. And I said, I want to walk down the strip in it and stuff. And like people, I said to Kirsty in the elevators coming here, I'm like, this is literally like every time we wear this, we're a marketing magnet, and people come up to us. Like it's literally walking from the casino, from our bloody room to the Uber. We had like 10 people saying, "Awesome suits. Like, what do you do? Hey guys, love your suits. You guys look fine. Like you guys look awesome.
Wait, good fit."
What do you do? What is it?
It's good fit.
Believe in your breath. I believe in my breath too, man. Like, what do you guys do? And it was just sick. And it was like people were just like, they want to know who are.
Can we just appreciate, like, why the hell does the American accent sound so cool?
I know. I
just want to talk like an American.
I want to talk like that, yo. I want to talk like it all the time. But for me, the suits
have been cool.
It was the best idea you ever had. We're gonna actually bring out some even cooler suits next year. I said we're gonna do. I'm not gonna give away.
We're gonna do things. Stop talking.
They're gonna be crazy. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Banned.
You're always the one that tells me I'm not allowed to talk about
it.
But anyway, the suits have been amazing at every event we've been to. It's helped us network. Like my back could be turning, I could be getting water, and someone could go, "Hey, cool suit. What do you do?" And now I'm turning around and doing my elevator pitch, and they're now following me on Instagram. That's a lead. So
and also, you know what, guys, like that's your trust. No trust and like, that's what this is all about. This is the process you need to go through in order to, get people to come into your world. And at the end of the day, when people come into our world, when they're actually in our world, they're like, wow, like, why didn't I do this sooner? Like my life has been changed in weeks, days sometimes, people come into especially into our 12-month mentoring program, and they're like, wow, and it's because by the time people have come into our program, they've either come to our event and done some work and like, whoa, this shit is amazing, or they've watched us for so long.
It's a commitment issue because most people who join,
quick fix. That's what it is.
And we've talked about this just before, but most people, I've watched you guys for a year now. I'm finally ready for the work, and then they come in. And how many people come to our events? We had a lady in Perth, and she was like, I've been to 3 of these events, and I promised myself I was going to do the work, and I just went back to the same thing after the event.
Because you get a hit,
you get caught up, you get a hit,
you get good,
and then she's like, now I'm all in, and then look how much that lady's life changed when she actually committed and went all in, right?
That's exactly right.
So let's talk about some sad stuff.
So
all right, let's take a deep breath.
Yeah, I may cry through this.
You're gonna cry. I'm gonna cry through this.
Yeah.
This is hard, this part. It's already here, right?
Yeah.
The waterwork's already coming. So do you want me to start, or do you?
You can start.
So we have our dogs fucking hell, this is fast. So we've got our dogs back in Australia living at my brother's house. And Charlie, our pocket bully, who we got off our good friend Mick, who shout out to Explosive Kennels from Adelaide. Some most beautiful dogs and the most beautiful man who breeds these dogs. Good friend of ours, and he's in We Be Success as well. He, we've had Charlie for 2 years. We got a phone call from my brother literally only a couple of nights ago saying that Charlie was like acting weird and he's a crazy dog, like he's always like having freaking seizures in his sleep, and like they're not the best breathers. At times they sound like they're not breathing and stuff. And I said that I would just let him go overnight and see how he felt. And then so my brother said we kept the conversation up, and he said, look, he's kind of settled now. It was a really hot day and those dogs don't handle the heat well. And then so I just kept in contact, and Ash rang him in the morning. He said he's still not right. Like he's not getting up. He's usually full of energy. And I said, all right, I want you to take him to the vet. So he took him to the vet, and the vet looked him over and said his eyes were a funny color and his gums. And, it kind of, they didn't know we were still waiting. Like, this is how fresh this is. We're waiting on to know what happened, but.
Yeah. So then they obviously like Ash gave my number to the vet, and so they rang me, and I'm sitting in the bathroom. They said, look, we've got Charlie, we've done all the tests, and yeah, he's not going to make it.
His kidneys had shut down.
Yeah. And it was so fast. It was like from a moment of like thinking like, I didn't even, my mind didn't even think death. I didn't think for a second. I was like, he's going to get the help.
First stage of grief, denial, right?
And then
Same as me. I'm like, no.
I was like, so is there not anything you can do? And they said, no, like his kidneys are shut down, his liver's shut down. He's actually unconscious right now. And I was like, but surely you can do like a surgery or something like that. Like money's not the option. Like, please tell me like what I can do. And they said, honestly, you're just prolonging his death. He's going to die. So we would like to have permission to euthanize him. And it was so quick that I couldn't see. And I'm on the phone. Like, Noah's beside me. He's hugging me. Harvey's down beside me. He's hugging me because Noah's hugging me, and Noah's crying and I'm crying. And Bo's out. He had to.
I was running
at the same time this was going on, guys. And this is the hard thing about business. At the same time this is going on, we had a masterclass with relationship experts Aston and Adam. Shouting out to those guys. Actually running a masterclass, and this happened half an hour before. And I said, Bo, you need to go. I can't be involved in this because I'm gonna have to be on the phone for the vet just in case they need me, whatever. So all this was going on, and it was just so fast. And then it was over. Like, I had no dog, and I was like. And then I was thinking about chaos, my other dog, like, how's he going to survive without him? And then I had to ring my son.
The guilt hits that we're not in Australia with our dogs. And, you get so worked up in business.
I had to ring Carson
and traveling.
And tell Carson. And, I'm ringing, like, we've got a time difference. So it was like morning time. So he was at work, and I didn't know if I should ring him at work. It was just horrible. And I rang him and I said, hey, Cars, like, where are you? And he's like, I'm at work. And then I just broke down, and he was like, Mum, what's wrong? And I was like, Charlie's gone. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, Charlie's gone? And I was like, Charlie's died. And like, he's broken down on the phone. He's like, what do you mean? Like, then he was like going like, I'm so sorry, Mum. Like, are you okay? Because obviously everyone knows me with my dogs and like throughout my life. And it's been the hardest thing.
Pretty sure you get rid of a child before a dog.
That's been the only hardest thing about leaving Australia. Was my dogs, and was I doing the right thing by them? And the guilt.
That's the reason why we didn't leave for like 2 years. We had this dream 2 years ago.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so then of course I had all the guilt, like I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have gone. So all the things come up. So what I really want to talk about in this moment, I haven't felt that type of pain for years. It's the type of pain like either you go through a breakup with someone that you absolutely love, someone that you love so much has just died. Obviously my pet had just died. And so I always say, guys, you're never fully healed. You just haven't been triggered yet. And I'm sitting there in this pain and I'm watching, I'm screaming inside. My body is screaming. I want to run and I feel the run in me. So I run a bath. I get in the bath. I can't be in the bath anymore. So I get out of the bath. I go back into bed. I want to go to sleep. My number one thing is I want to go take Valium. Now, this was my addiction back years ago. All right. So I went back to default setting. What is going to stop this pain right now that I know it can stop this pain right now? But I also knew I've got enough wisdom inside me now to know that you take that pill when you feel like this, you're not coming out of that. That this is the start of another cycle, so you need to not do this. So then I got back in the bath again. I ran out of the bath, couldn't stay in the bath. Like I was watching myself like just be in this run mode. And then I was like, okay, cool. I want to go downstairs and I want to go casino because we're at the top of the casino. I'm like, I want to go gamble. I want to go drink. And both like, I'm so tired. Like I just need to go to bed. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sleep. Like I already knew.
I knew, yeah.
I knew that I wasn't going to be able to sleep.
I was waking up with panic attacks and anxiety, like,
and you don't
sitting up.
You don't know it's real. Like, it's like you fall asleep and you're like, oh shit, like I should be sad. And then it's like, I remember now why I'm sad.
Yeah. And the worst thing is because you're so far away, it's so hard to process grief because I can't give my brother a hug. He's had the dogs like pretty much for a year.
You know what? And
I can't give my mum a hug. I can't talk because it's so late at night that everyone's asleep. I can't talk to anyone.
And also then we went, all right, like, should we just go home? Should we cancel Canada and not go there? And then I sat there and I thought about,
should we just go back to Australia?
What would going home look like? And I'd be like going back to like, probably Bo's parents' house and not having both my dogs. And I felt even more lonely. Yeah. Like it was just like this chain of, grief and emotion. And then anger comes in with myself. Things could have been different. Had I been there, it may have been a different outcome. So your mind goes crazy because your mind is looking for the result. It's looking for the relief. It's looking for the answers.
Well, guilt and blame is definitely a
stepping in the grief cycle.
Well, yeah, there's 5 stages of grief. And the first one's denial. We don't believe it. We don't want to accept it. And then the next one's like anger and guilt and shame and all those sort of things.
And I was up and down, like,
we can go through different stages too. We can go back a stage or forward, but obviously the ultimate.
Last night we were at dinner. I was totally fine. I had a really good night at the casino.
I had some tears as well.
We sat down.
We had a good night.
And then I got a message about we're cremating him, and then all of a sudden I was like, Charlie's dead. Like it hits you
and because we're not there, because like you can imagine if like we were in the family home and Charlie was there, you could go, oh, this is where he used to sleep, or there's his bed, or there's his toy. Because we're so far away and so disconnected, it's kind of like we're not processing it, and that's even worse. And that's why I said to you, we need to process this. I said, me and the kids,
we all wrote a letter.
Even
to
Harvey, like everyone, I said the first thing I want to do is write Charlie a letter. And I want it to be like, sorry, I wasn't there while your last moments. And I'm sorry that, we were away from you when this happened. And I'm sorry that I'm
sorry that this happened to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you went through this and whatever it may be. Like I said, we don't know what has happened yet to him and why this has happened. So it's
very up in the air.
Yeah, so we don't have any answers, and a lot of people want answers, right? We want answers. Why are we feeling like this? And this is what I mean. Like people come to me like, I've got anxiety. Like why this? Why have I feeling like this? Why has my partner left me? Am I not good enough? Why this? Why? We always need answers. Sometimes it's not about the answers. It's about what's going on and processing what's going on and just diving in and just being like, do you know what? This is the truth. And the very last stage of grief is acceptance.
Yeah.
Taking a deep breath and going, they're gone, and then focusing on the gratitude, the good times we had, and the amazing life we had.
I literally can feel him around me, and I can feel his little paws around my neck, and Charlie. And what's so heartbreaking for me is Charlie and Harvey were best mates, and everyone we went back to Australia, he just wanted to see Charlie, and there's Charlie and him, they were together at all times, and so
and how many times Harvey would look at photos of Charlie,
he would call Charlie on the phone.
Yeah.
He
used to ring out. Yeah.
But he used to even at your mum's house, he used to pretend to be like, hey, Charlie, how you going? So,
And you don't, it's so weird, how you break that to a 3-year-old because, obviously we're away from Charlie. Man, you could imagine you had a dog and it was in Harvey's life for 3 years straight and then one day it's gone. Where's Charlie? I'm coming downstairs out of bed. Where's Charlie? But obviously because we're away, it's easier for him to probably slowly forget it, and you don't need.
But then as soon as we go back to Australia, he asked. Yeah, he knew. He said,
and he will ask when we get back, and that's just going to be a really sad conversation. But obviously, 5, 6, sort of 9, when someone dies, you got to explain they're gone, and it's really hard. And everyone processes death differently. I know people that are death's nothing to them.
Yeah.
They're we're here one day, we're gone the next. It's all about staying grateful.
I know. Sometimes I really wish I wasn't as emotional as I am.
You're allowed to be emotional.
I had so many friends say to me, I know how hard this will be for you. For one, I know how much you love your dogs, but you love everything. And when you love
You love hard. You love hard.
as deep as you love, I know how this affects you. And like, I am an all, like, if you're in my world, like, I will love you. I'll do anything for you. But I'm the opposite too. Like, I can be very cut off and cold. Like the moment
your coldness is like, it's as cold as ice.
Yeah.
Oh man, people feel it too. Like, hey, have I done something wrong? It's like, yeah, you have. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, go.
So I had a message, and I'm like freely to speak about this now, but we went through some shit a few years ago, which was spoken about. Other breath workers calling us out, other people calling us out when we got into this business and got into this world. And, that was really hard for me at the time, but now I'm like super good. And like,
I always knew
I needed to get through that.
This day will come and we'll be on a podcast and using our voice.
Yeah, and we had a lot of celebrities turn on us and high-end people in our industry turn on us. And that was cool. It's cool now. It wasn't cool then. I did sit in a shower one day and ask for the universe to give me a test because I needed something to level up from, and God fucking hell, I wasn't ready for that.
I was like, could you please not involve me in your test? Because
shit,
I don't need part of your fucking test.
But anyway, I'm good now. But
lessons and blessings.
Lessons and blessings, baby. So we had like a lot of people turn us, unfollow us. People who are helping out our events or in our circles say, I can't be in your circle anymore because of this. And
because you're sheep.
Because you're sheep. And you have no fucking life, But, sorry, not that they have no life. That was a totally wrong thing to say. It's because they have no backbone and they have no leg to stand on in their life is what I meant to say. But I was going off track there because I was trying to think. Now, I remember being back here then when all these people turned against us and we were like in the room and we were saying, do you know what? When we make it, I will never sit with these people again. Yeah. And they're going to come crawling back. And we said that then in the darkest, there was no light. We couldn't see anything. We didn't know the answers. We didn't know nothing. But we said that.
Still going to do the thing.
Right?
All I knew
the other day, one of the main people who was supposed to show up at our events and be there for us.
Who said she loved us so much.
Who said she loved us.
At the beginning when this was happening, she was
commented
like,
on all our stuff. Got your back.
I've got your back. I'm not going to let you guys down.
Yep. I had mentors turn their back on me. I've had all the fucking shit, right? Now, we got a message literally yesterday saying, hey, I just want to let you guys know I'm seeing you in Vegas, seeing you in America, seeing you travel with your family, seeing the work you're doing with thousands of people around the world, seeing your followers, seeing your Instagram. I know the thing, right? And she's like, I just want to apologize for like not sticking by you guys when people are saying stuff about you and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what? I didn't reply.
She was actually like, I want to get this off my chest because it's been weighing me down. And I wish that I had, more strength back then to have my own thing because my intuition told me that you guys were amazing. But I allowed people to get into my head. And
you allowed yourself.
I just want to.
You didn't allow other people. You allowed yourself.
I want to have a message here for you guys. How often have you allowed someone else's voice and opinion to derail you?
Yeah.
And I want you to really take this as a lesson, the lesson that she had to face, because for one, we won't allow you back in our circle. We forgive you.
Do you know what? If you can't sit with us through our hardest, you don't sit with us when we eat and win. Fuck you.
100%. 100%. And I want you guys to take that on as well. But what I really want you to take away from her lessons and learnings from this is that when something feels that you feel strongly for or against, whether that is good or bad, your intuition is telling you something, and then someone else brings their opinion, please trust your intuition because it 100%. Is right and is there to guide you. It's not there to mislead you. It's there to actually guide you. And at the end of the day, I know that so many people are going to listen to this podcast and have had someone else's opinion derail them, take them off track.
My biggest thing is that when someone's in front of me now, after all the work I've done on myself and working with thousands of people around the world, is that when someone's in front of me bagging someone out, you're showing me more about you than you are about them. But that's me. But the other people, like her, will be like, oh yeah, they soak it in. They're like, yeah. And then they'll go around and spread it. Yeah. They'll go to the next person and be like, oi, nah, I heard this about them. Don't trust them. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, do you know how many people talk shit about celebrities? Oh, Jake Paul or this Logan Paul or this person. And I'm like, for one, you don't know these people. You don't know their family. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know anything. And then their doco come out and everyone started going like, oh, you know what, this guy's he's not really a bad guy. Like, shut the fuck up. People get on their profiles and write like, these guys should kill themselves or you guys are scumbags.
Like for me, that's someone's kid.
That's someone's fucking, that's a life.
It's like someone's life. And at the end of the day, like, who are you to say that? Like, we have had until
you walk in their shoes or by their side through the shit they've gone through, like, shut the fuck up. And who are you to feel like that you have the the audacity
yeah, the
and entitlement to go
yeah.
onto a Facebook post and say what you say without any education or any knowledge or nothing. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
But anyway, my thing is what I wanted to close
Love
on.
and light, guys. Love and light.
Oh, yeah. Lessons and lessons, my brain.
Yeah.
If my biggest thing here is like, if you're in front of me and talking shit about someone, I'm like disliking you more by the second.
And you know why? Because also, if you're talking about that person, you're also talking about us.
Exactly.
And so you're a snake.
You're
right?
talking about me too, brother.
Yes,
I swear to God.
Right. And so, like, when someone is coming in and ragging someone else out to me, I'm just like,
if you're
I'm
quick
out.
to turn on someone else because of an opinion or something you've heard, you're going to be quick to turn on me, my friend. And I see it. We see it coming now
we
too.
see it coming. We've had things in the business, which again, we'll talk about it. We've had staff. I watched this person talk about other people, talk about their business and stuff like that. And I was like, we're going to have
it didn't sit nice with me.
Didn't sit nice.
Like if you're all day talking shit about people on social media, if you're bagging out people, you're bagging out people like your partner or your family or your parent. Like, don't get me wrong, event is event. That's okay. Yeah. If we're close friends and you have an event and we're having a bro chat, something like that, that's different. But if you're just like, if I've just met you or we don't know if we don't know each other that well and you don't know the other person that well, you know,
character trait, guys, and I'm not about that energy.
Nah,
and for
fuck
me,
that shit.
if you're a person that wants to speak shit about someone else, you're not in my world. I don't like that.
You're gone.
My values are not on that. I don't like that type
shit.
of.
And you shouldn't put up that shit either.
No, I don't like that type of character. So I want you to take away from us today that there were several different lessons in here. One was, you know, with Charlie's death, like recognizing my default settings, but being able to pattern interrupt. So where I would have usually gone downstairs and gambled or drunk or taken that pill, I didn't. I sat with those feelings. Even though my body was running, I could feel the run inside me. So I want you to take this on, that when you're going through hard things in life, challenges, situations, grief, whatever it is, a breakup, I want you to sit, I want you to feel, I want you to lean into the discomfort. And I know it sucks. I know everything in you wants to get out, but I promise you, you sit with this for a moment. You process it for a moment, and that moment could be weeks, months, or even a year. That's okay. But once you get through that, I promise you, your life won't be the same on the other side. And once you train yourself to get through the difficult, challenging things in life, and you sit with those feelings and you emotionally regulate and you process them, I promise you that on the other side of that is the change that you were after. Once I pattern interrupted what was going on because I wanted to go to my default settings, I got curious about why I was wanting to do that. Those amount of bars that I did, like all of that stuff, you know, there was even very dark moments in my thought process, those intrusive thoughts coming back through, because that is a normal default setting. What do we do here? Oh, red alert, red alert, red alert. We need comfort now. We need to do the thing.
Alcohol, pleasure.
So I want you to take that on from this podcast today. There's also a few different other lessons in here, but there's one thing I can take away is that lean into those feelings and you have the choice. You can pattern interrupt.
100%.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Spill the Tea with Bo and Kirsty in Las Vegas. I want you guys to like, share, subscribe, give us some love, give us a tag. If you've
see us in the Success Lounge.
Come see us in the Success Lounge for free.
Yep.
If you guys have had a big breakthrough or a light bulb moment or got any value at all, please share it and tag us and we will reshare it. We want to help you guys share and embody anything that you guys are getting out of this podcast. So big love and have an amazing day, night, wherever you are. Big love. Let's go.
Big love.